Think about it for a moment. How many times have you looked at your bank account, felt that pit in your stomach, and immediately slipped into worry or fear? Has this ever happened to you? That moment when scarcity feels so real that it seems impossible to think any other way. The truth is, we've been taught backward our entire lives. We believe that external effort, the grinding, the hustling, the endless chase, is what produces wealth. We think it's about having the right degree, knowing the right people, or finding the perfect opportunity. But what if I told you that this approach is precisely why abundance remains elusive for so many? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might completely transform how you understand wealth creation. The external world, every dollar in your account, every opportunity that comes your way, every financial situation you find yourself in, is nothing more than a reflection of your internal state. Money isn't attracted by need or desperation. It responds to the consciousness of possession, to the mind that already wraps itself in the feeling of abundance before a single coin appears. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Now, here's something crucial that most people never grasp. The time between desiring something and seeing it manifest isn't fixed by natural law. It's psychological. For those who waver in their conviction, manifestation crawls. But for those who remain unshakable in their assumption, it can arrive with the swiftness of lightning. This means money can flow into your life within hours, not months or years, if you have the courage to position yourself in the state of someone who already possesses what they desire. The key word here is courage, because it takes tremendous inner strength to maintain a feeling of abundance when everything around you suggests otherwise. What you'll discover today isn't another get-rich-quick scheme. It's not about visualization techniques or positive thinking as most understand them. It's about something far more powerful, the law of assumption, the foundation upon which all lasting prosperity is built. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you truly understood and applied this principle. What if you could break free from the endless cycle of chasing and striving and instead learn to command wealth through the power of your assumed state? The reality is that almost no one does this, and that's why they remain trapped in cycles of financial struggle. The hidden truth is that the boldest move you can make in your wealth journey isn't working harder. It's developing the courage to shed appearances. This transformation requires something that feels almost rebellious at first. When you look at an empty wallet or a stack of bills, your senses scream lack. But at this precise moment, you face a crucial decision. Will you bow to external evidence, or will you stand firm in your internal knowing? The common person sees emptiness and immediately assumes the identity of someone in need. Their posture changes, their voice shifts, their energy dims. But those who understand the deeper mechanics of manifestation recognize that external appearances have no power of their own. They're merely echoes of past assumptions. The revelation that changed my own financial reality was this: the outer world isn't the source of truth. It's simply a shadow of what has already been decreed within. When you refuse to give power to what your eyes see and instead clothe yourself in the feeling of abundance, something remarkable happens. The invisible begins to organize itself to confirm your new stance. Think about this. When you look in a mirror and wish to see a different expression, you don't try to change the reflection directly. That would be absurd. You change your actual face, and the mirror simply responds. Your financial circumstances work exactly the same way. The external is just a reflection, nothing more. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the mindset shift that makes this approach sustainable. This isn't about a momentary inspiration that fades by morning. It's about the disciplined practice of imagination, perhaps the most underestimated force in the universe. Most people treat imagination like a fleeting daydream or mental entertainment, but those who've mastered the art of deliberate creation understand that imagination is the primary instrument by which all destiny is shaped. What you call reality is simply the crystallization of repeatedly sustained images. The impact of this understanding is profound. The law doesn't respond to what you occasionally wish for. It responds exclusively to the state you persistently occupy. This requires mental discipline, the willingness to construct a scene that represents your desire fulfilled, and then to revisit that scene with feeling until it becomes more real to you than the temporary conditions around you. When your mind wanders into worry or doubt, and it will, your job is to gently guide it back to your chosen state. This isn't about fighting against negative thoughts, but about consistently watering the seeds of what you wish to grow. Just as a garden doesn't appear from forceful demand, but from patient tending, your financial abundance emerges from the gentle persistence of focused imagination. The journey from where you are to where you desire to be isn't measured in external milestones, but in the clarity and conviction of your internal vision. When you master this discipline, you'll find that the external world becomes surprisingly obedient to what you've decreed within. If what I'm sharing resonates with your experience, write "inner vision" in the comments below. I'd love to know who among you has glimpsed this powerful truth. What separates those who manifest with extraordinary speed from those who wait endlessly is a subtle yet profound shift in consciousness, immediate acceptance. This is where the true alchemy of transformation happens. When you assume a state, you must not treat it as a distant promise or a future possibility. The breakthrough comes when you accept it as already accomplished. In the present moment, think about how most people approach their desires. They say, "I hope this works out," or "I wonder when this will happen," or "How will this manifest?" In doing so, they inadvertently create distance between themselves and their desire. They place it on a timeline, making it subject to conditions and circumstances. The revelation that changed everything for me was understanding that the law doesn't respond to doubt or hesitation. It responds only to conviction. It's like the difference between planting a seed and constantly digging it up to check if it's growing versus planting it with complete trust that nature knows exactly what to do. Immediate acceptance means declaring within yourself, "This is already mine, it is accomplished." There's a powerful scripture that captures this perfectly. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice the tense, not believe that you will receive it, but believe that you have received it. This distinction isn't semantic, it's absolute. When you live from this consciousness, you no longer seek external signs to validate your internal knowing. You no longer beg for confirmation. You simply rest in the certainty that what is done in consciousness must express itself in experience. It has no choice. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by revealing one of the most overlooked aspects of successful manifestation: the power of silence. When you first discover these principles, there's an almost irresistible urge to tell everyone, to seek approval, to have others validate what you're learning to sustain within yourself. But this impulse, while natural, can sabotage your journey. Each time you expose your inner state to the opinions of others, you risk diluting its power through their doubts and misconceptions. It's like planting a delicate seed and then allowing everyone to poke at the soil where it lies. If you're ready to master the art of conscious creation, hit that subscribe button now. I share powerful insights on manifestation, mindset, and abundance that you won't find elsewhere. Join our community of creators who are transforming their reality from the inside out. The wisdom traditions have always emphasized this truth. When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and speak in secret. Your room is your consciousness. The closed door is your silence. And prayer is the state you've chosen to embody. Silent confidence is the hallmark of mastery. Those who truly understand the law don't announce their plans to the world or seek external validation. They walk peacefully, knowing that what they've assumed within themselves is as inevitable as the sunrise. There's no need to convince others because the evidence will speak for itself in due time. This silence isn't just about not speaking to others, it's also about quieting the internal chatter that contradicts your chosen state. When you talk less about your desires, you create space for them to take root without the constant interference of old stories and limiting beliefs. If you recognize the power of keeping your manifestations sacred until they're ready to emerge, type "silent power" in the comments. I'd love to know who resonates with this deeper wisdom. Now we arrive at what I consider the pinnacle of this entire process. The courageous act of living as if your desired state were already your present reality. This is where true masters separate themselves from mere students of manifestation. It's one thing to imagine abundance in the privacy of your mind, but it requires a different level of conviction to walk through the world as if what you've assumed were already physically present. This journey demands the boldness to act, speak, and feel contrary to what your physical senses report. When your bank account shows one figure, but you've assumed a greater prosperity, you must have the audacity to carry yourself with the confidence of someone who already possesses that wealth. Your posture, your tone of voice, your decisions, all must align with the identity you've claimed internally. The world may call this approach madness or delusion. Society is structured to make you feel irresponsible or foolish for not bowing to facts. But behind the scenes of creation, the exact opposite is true. The madness isn't living the invisible, it's remaining enslaved to the visible when you have the power to transform it. This revelation transformed my own relationship with manifestation. I realized that my half-hearted approach, imagining prosperity at night but returning to anxiety during the day, was creating a divided consciousness that couldn't produce coherent results. The watershed moment came when I understood that every gesture, every word, every feeling needed to sustain my chosen state. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the profound coherence required between imagination and conduct. This alignment is the secret catalyst that accelerates manifestation beyond what most believe possible. The world doesn't respond to what you occasionally visualize or passively desire. It responds to what you consistently embody. When imagination, feeling, and action move in perfect harmony, you eliminate the inner contradiction that keeps so many locked in cycles of wanting without receiving. Think of it as a three-strand cord that, when woven together, creates an unbreakable connection between your inner and outer worlds. The mindset shift required here is profound. Don't wait for the deposit to feel prosperous. Don't wait for recognition to feel worthy. Don't wait for physical evidence to feel the relief of having what you desire. Everything must begin within you now, in this moment, before any external confirmation appears. What this means in practice is sitting at your table with gratitude, even if the meal is simple. It means walking with the confidence of someone who carries abundance, even if your wallet holds little. It means breathing with the ease of someone whose prayers have already been answered, even while physically waiting for results. This isn't pretending or fake it till you make it. That implies dishonesty. This is living from the end, recognizing that the external world is just a shadow that must eventually conform to the light you cast from within. It's honoring the creative process by acknowledging that the invisible always precedes the visible. If you're ready to step into this level of embodiment and live from your desired end result today, type "living from the end" in the comments. I'd love to connect with those who are ready for this powerful shift in consciousness. When we truly grasp these principles, we arrive at a profound understanding that revolutionizes our entire approach to life. It is not effort, circumstances, or luck that determines our outcomes, but the inner state we dare to sustain. This revelation challenges everything we've been taught about success and achievement. Society has conditioned us to believe that external factors hold the keys to our prosperity, that we need the right education, connections, timing, or economic conditions to thrive. But this perspective keeps us perpetually dependent on forces outside ourselves, constantly reacting to a world we believe we cannot control. The blueprint for transformation lies in recognizing that as long as you beg for external changes, a better job, more supportive people, favorable market conditions, you remain enslaved to mere reflections. It's like standing before a mirror, pleading with your reflection to smile while your actual face remains frozen in a frown. The awakening comes when you realize that the only creative power in your life is the state of consciousness you occupy, when you assume with unwavering certainty the identity of what you desire to be. The world has no choice but to reorganize itself accordingly. This isn't mystical thinking, it's the fundamental mechanics of consciousness made practical. If today's message on the law of assumption spoke to you, that like button is your way of affirming, "This resonates with me." It also helps these teachings reach others who are searching for these exact principles of manifestation. I discovered this truth during my darkest financial period. Despite working harder than ever, opportunities kept dissolving and debts mounted. The breakthrough came when I stopped fighting external conditions and instead devoted myself to maintaining an unshakable inner state of abundance. Within weeks, the very circumstances I had been fighting began to shift, not because I conquered them through effort, but because they naturally adjusted to my new inner reality. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the critical shift from begging to creating. This represents the ultimate evolution in consciousness, moving from someone who pleads with life to someone who commands it with quiet authority. Most people spend their lives waiting for signs or begging for proof before they'll believe in their desired outcomes. They say, "Show me the money first, then I'll feel wealthy," or "Give me the opportunity, then I'll feel confident." But this approach fundamentally misunderstands the creative process. It places the effect before the cause, ensuring that manifestation remains slow or non-existent. The journey of mastery involves a complete reversal of this pattern. Instead of waiting, you decide. Instead of asking, you declare. Instead of seeking permission, you assume authority. This isn't about arrogance. It's about remembering your rightful relationship with the creative forces of life. When you make silence your guardian, discipline your habit, and courage your seal, something remarkable happens. Money, opportunities, and abundance no longer move away from you. They rush toward you like obedient servants to a master who finally remembers their authority. The universe doesn't respond to need, it responds to command. This wisdom isn't new, it's ancient. "Let there be light" was not a request or a hope. It was a command born of absolute certainty. And in your own sphere of influence, you have the same creative power when you speak from the consciousness of completion rather than lack. If you're ready to make this pivotal shift from begging to creating in your own life, type "creator consciousness" in the comments. I'd love to connect with those who are awakening to this powerful truth. As we come to this moment of reflection, I want to acknowledge something powerful. If you've stayed with me throughout this journey, it's not by accident. The principles we've explored today have been guiding forces in my own transformation, and I share them with you as one traveler to another on this path of conscious creation. This community we're building together is a space for those who dare to question the conventional wisdom about success and abundance. Those who recognize that true power begins within. Each video I create is designed to expand this understanding, providing practical wisdom that you can apply immediately in your own life. If these principles have resonated with your own experience or intuition, I'd love to hear from you. Simply write, "I am the creator" in the comments below. It's a powerful affirmation and also lets me know who's truly resonating with this message. And if you found value in what we've explored today, that like button is more than just a click. It's a signal that helps others discover these same principles, creating a ripple effect of awakened consciousness. Your simple action can be the catalyst that brings someone else to exactly the wisdom they've been searching for. For those ready to continue this exploration, there's a video right here that takes these principles even deeper, showing you how to apply them specifically to dissolving financial barriers. Click and join me there as we build upon what we've discovered today. The journey of conscious creation is ongoing, and I'm honored to walk it with you.